We are live from the garage. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for gathering, dearly beloved. We are here, of course, to celebrate, to ruminate, to reminisce, to revel in the delicious disaster that is the secret lives of Mormon wives. Guys, this is honestly the show that just keeps on giving, okay? So at the end of episode 4, there's like this really long teaser that only shows half-naked men who are Chippendale dancers in Las Vegas. And I'm thinking, okay, this next episode, episode 5, is going to be lit. Like, it is going to be just wild. We're going to get into some real shenanigans. These women are going to drink some real alcohols that probably isn't really available in Utah. And the loose lips sink ships, guys. They are going to, you know, start talking about the shenanigans and all the other things. Okay. But that is not what happens in episode 5. The stripping is actually the next episode. This episode is filled, and I do mean filled, with so much emotional drama. It is dripping. Okay. So, oh my goodness, guys. I'm going to pull up my notes. We're going to pull up the puppets. I'm also going to pull up my Hulu here so that I can remember, because I got lost. I stopped taking some notes at some point. I got so into this emotional damage that I was like, O.M. fakakta G. At the beginning of the episode, okay, we see all of the couples get together, okay, to recap what had happened over the girls' weekend, okay? And they are, let's just put it this way, not happy campers, okay? Yeah, it is wild. Yeah, that's not the one I want. I have to get logged in here, guys. Oh, for crying in all the buckets. I'm going to pull this up a different way because, you know, when you don't save a password on one browser, but it's saved on a different browser, and then you don't want to pull your phone out because it's your camera. You guys have that problem too? That's the problem I'm having. Oh, come on now, Hulu. Yeah. That's what I want. Do my password. You know my password. And you know my fingerprint. I do love, yes, allow that. We're watching. Okay. Put it up. Thank you. Here we go. Ooh. See, this is the problem for me, guys. When I pull up Hulu, it gives you like a new show that's coming on. And a lot of times, unfortunately for me, it is something that I am interested in. This goes along with nerdy stuff here, but it is AI and the future of us. Like, yes, I would like to watch that special, but that's not what we're talking about today. Okay. So let's go here. Let's go to my stuff. If you guys also have Hulu, you will have noticed that they are hiking their prices. So make sure if you do have Hulu, you know, that you are on the right plan for you. That's all I will say because, yeah, I really feel like I don't understand why they are so adamant about continuing to hike these prices. I mean, at this point, if you have multiple streaming services, it's just the old price of cable that we were paying before. Like, it is literally, you know, that. Where did you go? Oh, there it is. I didn't recognize the thumbnail. Okay, here we go. So let me go. Yeah. Okay, so the episode starts out with the couples, and they are all talking about this weekend. Okay, the interesting thing that comes up is Tay is, of course, talking to her man, Dakota. Okay, and they're like, yeah, this was like a rough weekend. And she's like, you're my only friend. And he's like, oh, you're my only friend. Oh, okay. And then, of course, we have, Demi is talking. Now, I didn't make a thing of Demi's mom. I apologize. But Demi is talking to her mom about the things that had happened. Okay. And the fact that Demi had to come with the truth, with the quickness. This girl is a brave young lady. She's 29. I say, you go, girl. She knows who she is at almost 30 years old. She is not here to play. Okay. She is one of the senior elders, surprisingly, of the show and looks like one of the babies, right? Like, Tay is also 29, right? The youngest, I believe, is Leila. She's 22, right? So she's just like, she was forced into a marriage in the Mormon church because, poor Leila, they just had, part of this episode is Leila's divorce party. Okay. They're throwing her a party. That's really what this episode is about, to get to Leila's divorce party, because she got forced to get married at 19 when she got pregnant. She and her husband were not, really in love. They had a rough marriage. And at 22, after bearing 2 children, she has never had an orgasm. Guys, what I want to say up front in this recap, if you are in a relationship, whether you are, have male body parts or female body parts or whatever, and you are with a sexual partner that you are not having orgasms with, or you don't know what does that for you, you need to discover that. You need to talk to your partner. Okay. Because that's a super important part of life. I know people can be like, well, sex isn't everything. Sex isn't everything. Here's the deal, guys. Science says that if you are having regular, satisfactory sex, your mood, your longevity, your livelihood, your likelihood to make more money, your likelihood to be successful in all your relationships is much higher if that is something that's happening for you on a regular basis. Okay. And if you are single, for a swinging single person, you can help yourself out with that necessity of life. Okay. But make sure that you do things that you are consenting to with whomever you're participating with that in. Okay, that's number one. And number two, make sure you are also a satisfied customer in that moment. Okay, it took me, coming out of the closet in 40 plus years to become an advocate for myself sexually. I did not understand that. I did not understand that was important or desirable because of my upbringing. If you look back at one of my very early videos, it's called Sexy Scientology. I did 2 of them. I think I'm going to revisit that topic. It was based on a very strict policy in Scientology called pain and sex. And I think I should do another breakdown of it in the now times, because that was like 10 years ago almost now, 9 years ago when I did that. So, my life has changed a lot in those last 9 years, and my viewpoint of sex itself has changed, right? So I think this is something that does evolve over time, right? From your adolescence, from first puberty when your hormones are insane, through those young, early years of your 20s, and women, let's face it, ladies, who are in your 40s, we are in our prime. It is prime time. Okay. So if you're having weird ideas or urges or impulses and you're thinking like, I've never thought this way about sex, that's because you're in second puberty, ladies. It's kind of fantastic. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. There's a reason why the cougar trope is real. Okay. Because young men, young people with penises are are in their prime in that like 20 to 25 zone. And women in their 40s, 50s are in their prime. So I'm just saying. Or you just get yourself a 40-year-old wife and cheers. All right. So I hope that problem for Leila gets solved, because you should not bear children and never have experienced that pleasure. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, that seems very wrong. That seems very not correct to me. So they're all recapping what happened from their point of view. And of course, Whitney, Queen Bee, is at her mom's, just crying, like, oh my God, you guys, are these guys even my friends? And her mom's like, maybe they're not. It doesn't sound like they're your friends. I mean, she's basically telling her mom that, like, everybody wouldn't accept her, non-apology and whatever. And her mom's like, yeah, those girls are not your friends. Like, okay, first of all, you guys have decided, okay, let's just bring up all my Mormon ladies, okay? Jesse, Whitney, Michaela, Jesse, Jen, Affleck. You got to say that every time. Apparently, that's contractually an obligation. Leila, Demi, and Tay. Oh, I forgot Macy. Hang on. And there's Macy. Okay, one of these is hiding. This is too many Mormon ladies. Okay. I can't hold them all. Guys, this is too many ladies for me to put in my hand at once. Hey. Yeah. So these girls, these women decided to, form a group online known as Mom Talk. There were other members of the Mom Talk group who are no longer there. Jen and, who's the other new one? Jen and Demi and Leila are all new. And I believe Jesse, because a whole bunch of moms left after the swinging scandal that happened 2 years ago. Because as we know, Miss Tay has a magic nene that, brought all the boys to the yard. So those ladies quietly went away, and they're not on the show. They're not on, they haven't been interviewed or anything. I'm sure they're probably doing other press, or maybe not, because, they were swinging. And that's fine. I mean, like, the thing that cracks me up the most about this show is that if this had happened in the 1900s, okay, as the kids say, ew, you're from the 1900s. But if this had happened in the 1990s, okay, that a group of Mormons were found to be swinging together, that would have like closed the Mormon church. The LDS church would be like, I'm sorry, we are now closed. We're closed now. But now, I mean, guys, it's 2024. It's 2024. Okay? People in some states are legally married into thruples. That's not an oddity. They're not the odd man out. Polyamory has already had like 2 different specials, just people being poly, And to then condemn these women because they come from a religious, Christian cult that is suppressing them as women and sexually across the board, right? That they found some fun with another group of consenting people. Like, honestly, who gives a fucking shit? I mean, like, people want to say, oh, you're too liberal about sex and all this other stuff. Here's my 101 on sex. As long as it involves consenting adults, I do not give 2 shits what however many of them are doing together in the comfort or privacy of a home or a hotel or whatever. If it involves children or animals, I will fucking burn the building down. That's it. And that's, I mean, like, who are we, anyone, to tell other people what they can or can't find pleasurable? with another consenting adult. Okay? That's how I see it. Do I want to do all those things? No. It is not for me. But it's okay if it's for you. Right? Like, that's how I feel about, like, for me personally, I could never be in a poly or like a throuple relationship, right? Because that's not who I am. I am very, guys, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm very emotional. I love very hard. If I have given you my heart, that is, it's not like I'm slicing it up and giving it to multiple people. I can't. Okay. So I am a very hyper monogamous person. That's just me. But I've learned over the years, I have evolved from being disgusted and condemning people who are engaging in non-monogamous consensual adult activities amongst themselves. So yeah, my opinion has come a long way. What I find fascinating about this show is the group dynamics that are so culty, that are so, like, literally, to me, it is parallels on Excitology, on SPTV, on all these different things that come together with these weird dynamics and control and leadership and, like, imagined leadership and, like, whatever. It's that's why I find it kind of like a release, right? Not because I think these women are horrifically bad, with probably the exception of Whitney, who needs so much therapy. Whitney, honey, okay? The whole internet has told you that we know that your husband is on the down low, okay? So number one, protect yourself, okay? Because that is how most women in heterosexual marriages end up with HIV, okay? That's just facts. That's facts and figures, okay? They have tremendous drugs out now, Connor, that, will prevent it, do all this stuff. It's a totally different ballgame, but protect yourself, Whitney, okay? Because ultimately, I think you're probably a good mom. You love your kids. You want to have kids, right? And those are two things that are super important when having kids, is that you want children and you like, giving birth to them, right? But as far as your group dynamics go, okay, your interaction with these ladies is terrible. You are, in that respect, you are not a good friend. You are not a good leader, okay? And you're not a good example of what to do on the internet, right? But that can be handled. You can grow from that, Whitney. You can become a better person. You can learn, okay? I don't think all is lost for you, okay? And Connor, honey, please take a look at Mormonism. See what it's making you do. I've been in the closet, babe. You don't want to live there, okay? All right. So let's get on with this disaster. So they all tell their partners, the whole, like, fest about what happened, right? And I don't need that anymore. I'm trying to pull up my notes we had lunch. Guys, I spent the whole day at my mother-in-law's. I literally washed my face, changed my clothes, and came down here to do this live because we had just gone to dinner after helping my mother-in-law pack up to move states here. Okay, so episode 5. All right. So then, I forgot. So then, who goes? Leila, Demi, there were 4 of them. Who all went? Jesse, and there's one more. Was it Michaela? They go to a soda shop. Okay. So the soda shops in Utah, guys, if you don't know this legendary thing about all these weird soda shops, okay, but they are crazy, these soda shops, okay? They mix different ingredients for flavors. They have all the, like, flavors that you get, like, at Starbucks to put into the different sodas. And then they put, like, different creamers into the soda. Like, even Carnation International flavors into there. Or coconut cream or half and half, to, like, make this soda. They are addicted to it. There's one on every corner. Different brands, drive-through soda shops. And this is their thing. I mean, they have Coca-Cola at them, which I still don't understand because they're not supposed to have caffeine, but they're still doing it. Okay. So the girls go to Swig. So let me just see here. I'm looking at the show here. They're going to Swig at 3 p.m. Oh my God. Okay. When they walk up to, it is just the three of them. There's not four of them. Okay. So it's Leila, Demi, and Jessie walk up. And what is for sale at Swig right now as a sweet treat? Fruity Pebbles Rice Krispie treats. It's like they've been watching the show. But the show's not broadcast live. Like, it's not they film an episode and then they pumped it out. They filmed this in 2023, this show, and now it's out, right? So they all are like guffawing. They're so hysterical. And of course they get one to have to share together because, of course, after the whole Fruity Pebbles disaster, you absolutely have to have that. Okay. So these three are in the Swig talking about what had happened. And then Leila says, I'm having my divorce party. Should I invite Whitney? Now I need to grab a screenshot here really quick. Guys, these sodas, I'm just going to tell you, let me get the screenshot of these sodas so I can show you guys this disgusting things because they have the menu up for a hot second on the screen. Okay. So I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this part of the menu because the menu is even bigger than this at this place. Oh. But these are some of the drinks that you can get. Oh, Hulu. Rude. I can't, guys, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the screen. Now the screen on Hulu looks like this because they won't let you stream it, and that's fine. But when I took a screenshot, it doesn't show up either. So I have to be ghetto fabulous right now, and I'm going to take a picture. Hulu. Rude. And then I'll pull up the picture so you guys can see it. But like, give me all the breaks right now, Hulu. This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let me pull that up here so you guys can see it. I want you guys to see these drinks because they are so fucking weird. There we go. Okay. Now I can show you. Okay. So Raspberry Dream, Dr. Pepper, raspberry puree, and coconut cream. The Heartbreaker, Dr. Pepper, blackberry, coconut, and half and half. Oh, it's not a float though, Marilee. It's not a float. Okay. There's no floats here. This is just what they're drinking. Dr. Pepper, peach. This is Life's a peach. Dr. Pepper, peach, a vanilla, half and half. The Heartbreaker. Oh, we did that one already. Texas Tab, Dr. Pepper, vanilla, and coconut cream. The Founder, Diet Coke, sugar-free coconut, fresh lime, coconut cream. And that's what, This Bliss, Diet Coke, cranberry, and fresh lime. Just Peachy, Coke Zero, pineapple, peach puree, fresh lime, and coconut cream. The Waikiki, Coke, pineapple, and coconut cream. Busta Limes. This is some kind of Mountain Dew, mango puree. This looks like raspberry puree and fresh lime. Beach Babe is Mountain Dew, raspberry, peach, vanilla cream. That's like the syrups. Good night. These are sugar bombs. These ladies. Okay. So they all have their special drinks, but they don't just get the soda, guys. They are getting 44 ounces of the soda. In my Topo Chico, this is 12 ounces. That is almost 4 times the amount here. It's like 3 1/4 times the amount of this in one drink. I do like the Busta Limes name, but I'm not drinking the Dew. Okay. So they're all having their sodas. And then the next thing that happens, and I don't believe that I have a screenshot of that, so please hold while I get this very important screenshot that is going to come up not once, not twice, but I believe 5 different times during this episode. We talk about the Great Migration. Where is it? Okay, they have their drinks. Yeah, Demi's soda order, 44-ounce fighter with sparkling water. Okay. Sugar-free coconut, sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free raspberry, sugar-free pineapple, and coconut cream. She says it's chef's kiss. So Whitney has been invited. And Leila invited her, but they're all saying that Whitney might not come because she didn't go to the baby shower. Okay, hang on. Here comes the thing. And she blocked Demi on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, so they have a group chat, of course, because they work together, right? These ladies are in a group. They are literally all creating content to, do things together, okay? And what does Whitney do after the baby shower incident? After then the baby shower incident and then going to Macy's birthday weekend at that Fancy Pants Lodge that they created, a couple videos. Oh, I got water on my boob. My boob isn't leaking, guys. That's just Topo Chico. I apologize. She does, of course, the thing that you do when you're a mature person and you've been confronted by your friends for having a bad attitude, right? What would you do as a mature adult that, was needing to work it out with your friends? What would you do? Well, this is what Whitney did. She left the group. She literally left the group chat, y'all, with all of them. How is she supposed to know then anything that's going on with them? How is she supposed to be in the loop? Like, you guys are all in a group together, right? But that's her solution because she, got butthurt about whatever, right? She literally leaves the group chat. Like, you don't have to talk in a group chat, okay? But this is insanity. This woman is 30 years old. She's not a baby. It's not like Leila had a problem. Leila's brain isn't even done forming, y'all. And she is more logical than this woman who is 30 and gets held accountable for bad behavior, for talking fucking shit about everybody. Decides to cry and make her bestie's birthday about her. And then is like, well, I'm leaving the group chat. What her reaction to that is the best. So then these three, where'd my 3 girls go? Demi, Jessie, and Leila are like, you know what we need right now? You know what we need? We need to blow off some steam. We need to do something fun, just for fun. So they decide to go to a break-it room. Okay. If you don't know what a break-it room is, okay, they have many incarnations. You can go throw axes at things. You can go and paint. Let me pull up one here in Oregon. Let me pull it up here. So there's one in Portland, okay? It's called Smash PDX, okay? This is Portland's favorite rage room because there's so many. Actually, there's not that many, guys. But this is Portland's favorite rage room, right? So as you can see, they have heavy-duty tools, bats, you know, all kinds of stuff. So you can do a total destruction of a car, okay? You can icy red rage room and just, you know, take it out here on Bob. You can go into, this is like a blue light room where you're just literally, you can bring things to them, okay? You can bring in like old televisions or whatever, okay? Then they have a black light splatter paint where you go and you're just, it's just a fucking, it's a paint war, but with like squeezy bottles and you're just, you know, tossing them on each other. You can do it as a party. People bring like their employees here and stuff. So they, of course, opt for the paint option. Okay, and they put it, where would you invite all your friends that you're working together with and that you guys have been talking now for years and I don't know. Oh, the group chat. So they put it in the group chat. Let's go to this break room. Tay-Tay declines to go because at this point she is like, I don't know, a day, you know, an hour, a sneeze away from giving birth. So she's not going to go and get all hype up. She's having like a lot of physical pain right now. She's not, you know, for those of you who have never been pregnant, pregnante with a baby, boy, I really got myself good with the Topo Chico. I apologize, guys. At the end of your pregnant time, okay, at the end of the time where you have been carrying this person inside of you and growing them, you have to understand, and this is something I really didn't understand until it happened to me, okay, that the growth of the baby, the uterus expands and all this stuff, it's very magical. It's like the human body is a miracle. But what happens to the rest of your organs, okay, your kidneys, your bladder, your lungs, your stomach, those all just kind of scoot excuse me, I'm a baby, I need to take this space, out of the way, and they are all fucking squished to like almost death, okay? Your stomach is just, your lungs are all expanded and like, okay? And then there's one thing that they don't tell you in the brochure when they just show you pretty, shiny, happy little babies, okay? Is that shiny, happy little baby is gonna spend that 9 months fucking doing jazzercise on your fucking bladder for those 9 months, okay? And that is why I tell people in no uncertain terms, if you see a mom with her children in a grocery store and she sneezes, okay, or coughs, you know, a little hard, or perhaps chuckles a little too long at something, you know, I would say you see her get a rageful look at her children, just absolute rage. And you wonder, why is that making her so angry? It's because she has just peed a little bit on herself there in public, and there is fucking nothing that she can do about it. So please be nice to your mother. She has never peed right since having you. That is the sacrifice that you make when you grow another human inside of you. You sacrifice your organs to that baby. Your colon never goes back, right? If you have a C-section like I did, they draw and quarter you, put your bits and pieces on a tray next to you, take the baby out, and then just shove it all back in there as quickly as possible. They're not like, oh, we have to lay. We've got to lay out the colon in that little pattern that you see in the books. Like, no, they're just like, fucking get that shit back in there and close you up. Okay. It is not easy. Okay. So I get it. Tay-Tay is needing some TLC right now. I believe she's already had the baby, so you guys aren't worried about it. But in the show, she's just like, and when you see her in a scene later, her belly is like hella low. Like, you're like, girl, you should be getting wheeled around everywhere. You should not be walking around in heels. Taylor, stop. Pregnant women of the world, please stop wandering around in heels. It's not good for you at that time. All right. Guys, don't make me turn this chat around. What is happening? Oh, good grief. All right, guys, there's enough drama between the soda and the sex. Don't worry. It's something for everyone, okay? Yeah. See, Spark, no, thank you. When I got to around that last 2 weeks, the ligaments on the inside thigh pelvic region loosen up. Like, what? Yeah, it is so painful to lift your legs. I remember that point where I would be like laying on my back to go to sleep, and then I'd be like, oh, I have to go to my side, and I would try to roll to one side, and it felt like my entire pelvis was splitting in half. Like, you know, when you take a Barbie doll and you're like, splits. Like, yeah, it felt like someone was doing that to me violently. It is not, it's not good. It's not good. So I always tip of a cap to every woman out there with a uterus who, you know, goes through childbirth. That is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so they go to a splatter room in Utah. They put on some, you know, none of them show up in scrappy clothes. First of all, they show up in like fucking couture, right? And then that's a good girl. You can come lie down. That's my good girl. I know. I just scooted my chair back too fast. And then they put on these boiler suits. Apparently, this place just has never-ending amount of boiler suits. So they all, and then Macy makes a really tasteless joke. She's like, "Oh, too bad Taylor's not here. She could have worn the orange one." I'm kidding. Because if you guys forget, Tay went to jail for domestic battery against her daughter when she threw a chair at Dakota and it bounced off the wall and hit her kid instead of Dakota. So yeah, not a good look, but she's done with her probation. She's doing, like, if you look at episode 1, I thought this woman's going to be the worst. She's actually not the worst. Turns out. So they're all having a great time. Okay. They are laughing it up. Everybody is there except for Tay and Whitney. Oh, Whitney, did you not get the group text? Sad panda. I wonder why that is. Oh, because you left the group chat. You did that, Whitney. But of course, she is baking. Okay. And she tells Connor, guess what everybody else is doing right now? Like, they put a post on Instagram, and they did. They took a cute little selfie of them, like, totally covered in paint in these boiler suits. It's adorbs, right? And they post it, #MomTalk, right? And when he's like, they posted a picture that they knew I would see, and they did not invite me. And he's like, yeah, but you left the group chat. She's like, if someone else had left the group chat, I would have immediately called them. Have you met yourself? Have you talked to you? No, the fuck you wouldn't. Not unless the reason why they left was going to give you some sweet, very over syruped Utah tea. Okay? Like, let's fucking be honest, Whitney. Be honest. You don't give two shits about any of these women. You're pissed. That question to you at the overnight was perfect because you are jealous of Taylor. You are jealous of her clout. And you're mad as fuck that people will not let your RSV video, as you call it, go. But they forgave Taylor for swinging. Bitch, she has been being dragged through the mud for 2 years, and no one will stop bringing it up. But you're mad because people leave a comment every video you post, like, remember your RSV video? Remember how gross that was? And for those of you out there, her child got diagnosed with RSV, and she did a TikTok from the NICU. on a day apparently that was like a good day. And she told Macy, no, it was because she was happy because, the baby was doing better. And she was trying to like tell the world how happy she was. And then Demia's like, oh, no, that's not what happened. Because Whitney and I went and did ketamine, right? And as we were coming off the ketamine, she told me she did it for clicks and clout. And then they have a stand-up with Demi going, that's Whitney, sorry, with Demi, where she's like, yes, Whitney and I did ketamine therapy together. This is for trauma survivors and domestic violence survivors. And, it's very therapeutic, which is a valid therapy, by the way, guys. They didn't just go to do ketamine to go get high. Maybe they did. I don't know. Demi likes to suck down that fucking laughing gas and shit. But apparently they went together to go do ketamine therapy as trauma survivors. And hey, listen, if they are trauma survivors, get all the therapy you can. Okay? Because ketamine therapy is a FDA approved therapy for PTSD, for a lot of other issues, even for depression and things like that. So check with your provider. Again, I'm not a doctor or medical professional, right? But when you are coming off of ketamine, okay, because it is like a truthy type serum, you're going to say your real feelings and info. Am I sure about what? About it being FDA approved, Lone Dinosaur? It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Check with your healthcare provider. I'll give you an example. It's approved here. It's approved by Kaiser, which is like fucking healthcare. They don't fucking approve nothing. But Kaiser uses that as a PTSD medicine. But I don't know what we're talking about. Guys, let's not fight. Okay? I love all of you. I love all my kids equally. Okay? Let's just have a good time here. I love you too, Capricious Caroline. What is happening? Oh, okay. All right. Yes, the mods are busy. I just had to check in with my wife there. She came down, so sorry for muting. Private conversations. All right. Here we go. So then we go from, let me pull up my notes here and make sure I don't miss it. So they do the Pate party. Right. Okay. So the next thing that happens are, okay. So Macy, now that she has all this TikTok fame and clout, has launched her very own women's gummy vitamin line. Okay. It's called Baby Mama. Let me see if I can find the actual website. And she is doing a professional photo shoot that she's paid for this brand to come. And she's asked Tay to come be a model for the photo shoot because she is super pregnant. Okay. So here we go. Where's Baby Mama? Now I want to see the actual website. Where is the website? Okay, let me go to her. There we go. That's Baby Mama Company. So let's just pull this up on Instagram so you guys can see. So this is the Instagram for Baby Mama. You can see all these fun products, all these different flavors. There she is. Let's see if the photo shoot with Tay is there. There's Jen breastfeeding, holding her baby mama. There's Tay. Tay-Tay's belly. Tay-Tay's belly again. So she does this whole shoot. We did not see Jen at this shoot, guys, by the way, on the show. So apparently Jen came and did a whole breastfeeding thing because it wasn't part of the drama. That's Tay-Tay's belly with Baby Mama on it. Okay. And the shoot was super cute. Now, Taylor, of course, as I've told you guys, let's see if they, okay, here's the Baby Mama Company. If you guys are interested in this, it might be a good vitamin. I'm not getting paid. This is not sponsored. Okay. Right. There she is. There's Macy. Okay. But this is, nourishes baby and mama, helps develop a healthy baby, keeps your period regular. That's all good stuff. I don't know what's in it. I have no idea. Please check it out for yourself. Okay. There's sparkly gummies, guys. They're sparkly, delicious gummies. Okay. I had to, when I was pregnant, I couldn't take the regular prenatal vitamins. I had to take kids vitamins. So I got some gummy Spider-Man vitamins. I still didn't know I was gay. Yeah. Okay. So I did it again. Okay. So Macy invited Tay-Tay to come be part of the shoot. But Tay-Tay brought Dakota to the shoot, who, by the way, I believe, and my wife and I talked about this, I believe that Taylor can't drive herself anymore right now, right? So Dakota is probably driving her everywhere because she's huge and super in pain and pregnant. And then he had her like other kid, right? But it was like, the dad, Tay-Tay's dad has banned her other kid being on camera, right? So he was like holding him. You couldn't see the kid. It was just like a beanie, right? So Dakota's there. Macy's directing the photo shoot, getting like really fun stuff out of Taylor. It's going really well. Right before Tay-Tay, gets dressed in her cute little outfit, she goes up to Macy and she's like, "Hey, Macy, I brought Dakota because I want you guys to talk." And Macy's like, "Girl, this is my photo shoot. I'm not talking to this guy. Like, this is work. This is like my company. Like, I don't have the energy bandwidth to have that conversation." So then Taylor is taking this really pretty shot, and Dakota's like, "Oh, babe, you look so good right now. You look so beautiful." And then he goes up to Macy. Not really, just kidding. He goes up to the photographer and says, "Hey, do you think you could take some pictures of us together? Like professional?" And Macy is literally like, "What in the actual fuck?" Like, this is a photo shoot for this company. It is not now a boudoir shoot for the two of you. Right? So he literally, guys, takes his shirt off, okay, with his dad bod, and his jeans and his belt on, and just leaves his hat on backwards, and now wants to do like romantic photo shoot with his lady. I am literally dead. And Tay-Tay is like, ah. This is why I think he's a lot of bit controlling. And I know that everyone is like in love with him on TikTok. Like, he's just the cute TikTok dad. I'm not buying it all the way. I'm not a fan. Okay. So the next day, Macy comes over to Tay-Tay's and is like, "Okay, awkward. I'm here to talk to Dakota. What are we?" So the three of them sit down on a couch. Tay-Tay is in between. Let me flip it and reverse it. Tay-Tay is in between Dakota and Whitney, okay, on this couch. In fact, Dakota isn't even sitting on the couch. He's sitting on like an ottoman off the couch. And these two are like, it's like an L-shaped couch. So they're like this. And then Dakota is just like over here, like on the poof, just like talking to them. Okay. So the talk starts out and they're just all sitting there. And then finally Macy's like, "Do I just say things or what do you want?" So Dakota's like, "Yeah, I just don't understand why you're saying negative things about me. Like, I feel like I've been good to you. I'm good to Taylor. Like, what's the deal?" So she's like, she tells him her truth about it. She's like, "Listen, at first, I really did not like you. I didn't trust you. I had heard you've been with all these other women, and I didn't think that was good for Taylor and I thought she should not be with you. And he's like, yeah, but when we have somebody else outside of our relationship, like just saying negative stuff like that, filling Taylor's head with negativity, that doesn't help our relationship, Macy. Now, that is partially true. If you have a friend in your friend group that is just constantly shitting on your partner or spouse, not for like a valid reason, like you show up with a fucking black eye and they're like, where did that come from? And they're like, oh, I just, I ran into a wall. I'm so clumsy. And they're giving you all these like red flag, red flag, red flag. And you see their partner be, verbally abusive or like controlling. That's a different situation, right? Like we don't all have to like each other as besties, but if this person is trying their best as a human being and loves this woman, not just because she's pregnant with his baby, but like wants to marry her legit and wants to make a family with her and a life with her, right? And he's kind of an idiot, an ex-druggie who's, trying to like, be on the straight and narrow. But you just think this guy's an idiot. Like, why? Why? Your opinion doesn't necessarily matter and shouldn't be, in my opinion, hammered into somebody constantly, right? So they start like hashing this out about the past relationships that Dakota had and how that hurt Taylor. And then Taylor is like, Dakota's like, well, I said that, I didn't sleep with Jenna. Okay. So then Taylor recounts Dakota and Taylor's whole dating history. She says, okay, first of all, we were together. Okay. And right before we got together, I found out from somebody else that you had just hooked up with another girl literally the day before. And she says, before you started fucking me. And then you fucked me all week, went out with your boys, and ended up at another woman's house. This is Jenna. Now, there are several women, including Jenna, who have been, I'm going to tell the spice, right? And Taylor has said more than once. She said it in the last episode. She said it to Dakota. If I find out that you slept with Jenna that night, it is over. We are done. I will have this baby on my own. Go fuck yourself. Okay? He has sworn up and down. No, I didn't. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Okay. But Taylor then, and I wish, well, let's see if I can do it. Let's see if through the magic of phones, I can capture this for you guys, because everyone is critiquing all this crying that's happening on the show, right? And we've seen, hi, Charlie girl. We've seen Whitney, like, like some of it, especially at the birthday party at the end of last episode, that was not real tears. Like she was just literally trying to will tears to come out of her eyes at the table so that people would stop talking and having fun and focus on her. Right? It was so pathetic. So, Tay-Tay has this very intimate conversation. I did skip a part because Taylor and Dakota, before this convo with Whitney, go to Jen's house. And of course, with her, super bionic, mayonnaise, raisins in the potato salad husband, Zach, because they have 2 kids. So they invite Dakota and Tay-Tay over so that Dakota, who has no kids yet, can get a crash course in how to change a baby and all this stuff. And it's actually a very sweet thing. But it was also like, oh, Zach, here you are being like Mr. Example Dad, Mr. Fun Guy, giving everybody hugs and high fives when just a second ago, when it was time for the baby blessing of this one, we don't know you. I don't know your husbands. I don't want you to come over. This is important. Like, I mean, it was nice that they did this. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the troll alert. I I don't know why they're coming, but it's okay. Anyone is welcome. Make a comment, say whatever. It's okay. I'm talking about the Mormon wives, so I don't know what to say about that. So Tay and Whitney are now having this convo, right? After Whitney has her breakdown, do the baby mama thing. Okay. Then does the convo happen right after, or is that at the end? Oh, I skipped ahead. Okay. I'm so sorry. So before the convo, I thought this happened after the convo, and I apologize. So Dakota and Taylor do not go to Leila's divorce party because Leila's divorce party is being held at a club that is serving alcohols, okay, and stuff, cocktails, real cocktails. Part of Tay-Tay's probation is that she cannot go into any like bars or anything like that. Like Utah is hella strict. So she is not allowed to go into any bars or anything like that. So they do not go to the party. Okay. And that's understandable. Like Leila wasn't expecting Taylor to show up, right? She was invited, but she understood exactly why she wasn't coming there. But she did say in no uncertain terms at the soda shop that if Whitney didn't show up to this party, then that's a sign. Because she was invited separately. She sent her a very special personal private text that's not in the group text to invite her. Okay. So Whitney, you don't know if she's going to go or not. Everybody shows up for the party. Okay. They're all like chit-chatting and talking and da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So Jessie decides that she is going to have a talk with Whitney. Now, these two are the same age. They are both 30. Okay. And Jessie is like, listen, I think you did some things that are not okay. And it'd be really great if you could take an opportunity to grow from that. Okay. And, maybe become a better person. Right. Yeah. Whitney, of course, takes this as an opportunity to once again try to throw Demi under the bus for having said a one-time comment about Taylor when her life was kind of in the shitter and called her white trash. Which, by the way, Demi did a perfect example of what a real fucking apology looks like to somebody. She did not try to justify what she said or brush it off. She took full responsibility for saying some bullshit, apologized to Taylor. And then when Tay-Tay was like, hey, I know that we're supposed to be sharing a room here at this beautiful resort. Okay. But I need space. Demi was like, of course, I will go downstairs to the other room and you stay here. And that was that. It wasn't like, wow, we're here at this resort and now I don't get to stay in the nice bed. Like that would have been Whitney's reaction. Like, really? You're going to just be mad at me and kick me out? Why do I have to leave? Like, she would have been like a toddler, like a fucking 2-year-old. Okay. So we're all at the party. And then of course it just blows up. But Jessie told her some hard truths. Okay. And then Leila comes out and they're all talking. They have cake. And then Whitney leaves in like a hot second. She just fucking puts on her coat and goes. I'm out of here. And now during this, they've shown that graphic, Whitney Levitt. It's so ironic to me that her name is Levitt. Whitney Levitt has left the group chat. That's going to be on her fucking tombstone. Whitney Levitt has left the group chat. I need spicy water for this spicy show. Well, thank you. I appreciate all you here to show love. I love that. Thank you for coming on over to watch me talk about Mormon wives. If you love spicy entertainment, come on over anytime. Okay, so then Macy comes over to Tay-Tay's and Dakota's to have this very awkward talk with Dakota about why she doesn't like him. Oh, man. Okay, so and Michaela was in the episode. She just was very quiet. That's okay. And she made a TikTok about that because they talked about it in the first episode briefly, but Michaela over the last few years has developed a severe form of eczema that is literally covering her body from head to toe. So in order for her to be on camera, she has to put on copious amounts of makeup to feel comfortable, like being filmed, right? And so she made this TikTok that was basically like, yeah, I was in the show, but I was never ready, so you didn't show me. You know, like they just, you know, the producers were not kind to her in that respect. They didn't really take that into account. Okay. So, I got to put Tay-Tay in the middle. Okay. So Tay-Tay is in the middle of this conversation. Okay. And she starts really telling Dakota, oops, wrong person went down. Really telling Dakota why all of this is still affecting and hurting her a year later. Okay. Now, everyone has critiqued all of the crying and everything on this show and, you know, made fun of it and all this other stuff. But I'm going to record a little tiny part here. And I want to show you the real pain that is going on with this woman, because I think this is so incredibly brave of her to show this for the world. Okay. And no, that's not what I wanted. This is going to be a bad edit, guys, but that's okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to do a Ghetto Fabulous recording so you guys, well, it doesn't really matter if you can hear the sound or not, but I can play the sound for you right now while I record the video. Can you guys hear any of this?
I feel like I am so protective with Taylor and her relationship with Dakota because I see a lot of signs in Dakota that I saw in my abusive ex-boyfriend. There's a lot of things that he did verbally, emotionally, physically that...
Okay, so I'm going to stop recording this. So the reason why Macy is so anti-Dakota is she says in no uncertain... This is one of the most vulnerable, real things that I have seen on a reality show. So Macy in her one-on-one stand-up says the reason why I don't trust and like Dakota is because I see in him a lot of the characteristics and a lot of the actions that my former abuser had. She is a survivor of domestic violence. So she sees things in him that are very similar to what she experienced. And so she is like, not today, you know, not today, Dakota. Right. And that's why, but she says clearly to him, I'm not calling you an abuser. He's like, well, thank you for that. You know, but she's like, I see these things. And that's probably why I judged you so harshly, because I was triggered. Right. Tay-Tay starts crying, like not a tiny cry, guys, not a cute cry on camera. Okay. But like a full, I'm going to see if I can just record that portion. A full on like ugly cry. And whenever Tay-Tay is getting emotional, she does this thing with her lip that I'll point out to you guys here in a second. Hang on one second. Tay crying was sad, Chloe. It was awful. Like, I cried. And, okay, so Tay-Tay says it's... Okay, hang on. Dakota does do a good job of listening in this moment. I will give him that. Okay, so I'm going to play that for you guys here. Oh, don't die on me. Don't die on me, Pahone. So this goes on. The crying scene goes on for like a good 5 whole minutes. Like they don't, they don't just give you a tiny bit with this scene, right? They give you the whole enchilada. It is brutal. It is honest. It is heartbreaking. It is everything. It is just so difficult. Let me see if I can. There we go. I got it. Okay. Here we go. So let me share the screen. With her lip. That I'll good. You guys can hear me. Okay. So let me. Hang on one second. I'm going to mute this. Okay. So Tay-Tay's listening to Dakota. Okay. And that's the part where he's telling her, like, when you say stuff, like it doesn't help our relationship. Right. And, why is it doing that? If I bring it over here, will it do that? Yeah. It just makes it so like bright, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. So now Taylor is like, when you first came into my life, you know, it was really hard for me. And there's stuff that I'm not over. And this is where she's starting to break down. Like Dakota's listening. And you see that face that she makes? Macy is like, why am I here? What is happening? This is insane. And at one point, she's like, she tries to like become like a counselor for the two of them to like, you know, kind of sort this a little bit. But this was unbelievably brutal, where she is explaining to him the, you know, fucking like just pain she is in, that even now, weeks before she's going to give birth to this child with this man, he keeps trying to pressure her into getting married. She's like, I'm not there. I am not ready for marriage again because I don't trust you. And I say, fucking good job to these women for bucking that bullshit from their culty cult of like, well, you got pregnant, you gotta get married. Guys, when I was engaged to my ex-husband, okay, in February of 2005, we got engaged in December of 2004. Our wedding was planned for New Year's Eve, 2005. So romantic. It was going to be a black and white, like Art Deco theme. I had this whole idea in my head, right? I was planning this whole thing. Okay. I had been like, my biological clock was ticking, guys. I was 28 and I was like, I want a baby. Okay. And my ex-husband was like, no, I don't think I'm ready for that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then he came home from a road trip and was like, I'm ready. I was like, let's do it. And I got pregnant that night. Okay. So much TMI. As soon as the pregnancy was confirmed, you know, by a doctor, all that other stuff, my mom went like, not even Scientologist, okay? Just the Episcopalian in her jumped out of its body and was like, and she literally said these words to me, you guys. No grandchild of mine is being born out of wedlock. I was like, nobody cares about that, Mom. Who the fuck cares about that? Oh, I care about it. I'm like, yeah, but you're not having the baby. It's not your relationship. Like, why do I have to get married before the world knows that I'm pregnant? Because it's right. Cannot raise a baby out of wedlock. So we looked at the calendar and realized that St. Patrick's Day that year was a Saturday. And so we put together a wedding in 2 weeks. Got a dress, got, you know, we got some flowers done by my godmother, who was also the minister. And I had like 6 people at this wedding. If I had a copy of my wedding photo, you would see just how thrilled I was to be doing that at that moment. Yeah. I don't regret having kids, you know. There's a lot of things that I would do differently knowing what I know now then, if I could like transport my brain now to my, baby self, there would be a lot of different decisions I would make in my life. That wedding would have been one of them, because there was a lot of good that came out of that. Obviously, my kids, obviously getting out of Scientology, and there was a lot of chaos, a lot of unnecessary chaos, but also, as a cult survivor, I can say this, the thing that you don't want to do is rush into things and be pressured into things because of quote unquote societal norms or your religious requirements. Okay. So to see this young Mormon woman basically telling her baby daddy, not today, after her mother was like, I don't even think you guys should live together until you're married. But she's like, but mom, we're having a baby together. Yeah, but it's still wrong. You should not be living in the same home, living in sin until you're married. What the fuck does being married have to do with raising a kid? Put a 1 in the chat if your parents divorced and they continued to raise you even though they weren't married, or if you have been divorced and you continued to raise your children even after that marriage dissolved. Because it wasn't like all the people who got divorced were like, well, can't have these kids anymore. I guess we'll just drop them off at the nearest fire station now because we're not parents now that we're not married. Like, that's not even in like wedding vows, right? Like, this is just like insane. The level of insanity is just alarming, to me. Alarming. Okay. So Leila has her party. She celebrated, you guys, getting a divorce. If you are a divorced woman in the Mormon faith, you may as well declare yourself a non-person. That is what would normally happen to a divorced Mormon woman. At her divorce party, okay, this Bajumba, Jesse's husband, is like, oh, hey, by the way, I brought my friend Josh. He'd love to talk to you. And she's like, I'm having a party for being single. Like, I'm not interested. And then the guy walks up, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Hey. And then all the people around her are like, oh, I guess we should leave you guys alone. She's like, please stay. Please stay for a nightcap. Yeah. Like, in the Mormon faith, if you are not, like, married, you are no one. If you are a woman and you are not just popping babies out of your uterus like fucking Tic Tacs, you are not a person. It is so fucked up. And part of the problem for these women, okay, these women, I'm going to put them all up here, see if I can get them all in one popsicle delight sandwich here. Where is Tay-Tay? Where is Macy? Oh, come on. One more. And to me. Got him. Okay. This is a fan. This is a gay fan if I've ever seen one. Okay. So these ladies are all the breadwinners in their relationships. These men, these poor, sad, emasculated, doughy, just sad, closeted, controlling, narcissistic men. Where's my Zach attack? Where's the worst of the worst here? Is Zach up here? No, he's not. Where did Zach go? Zach Eflack. Oh, he went under my keyboard. Mm-hmm. These guys, they are so upset that their wives make more money than them. Because in the Mormon church, it makes them look like what? Women. They can't have that. They can't be weak. They can't be needy. They have to be strong, virile men. Okay? Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. The fact that you have a child, that you give birth to a child, or you don't, does not define your personhood. Okay? I'm here to just declare that for all of humanity. Okay. The fact that you father a child or not does not make you a valid man. Those things have nothing to do with your validity as an individual human. Okay. Birthing a child is an ability that some women with uteruses have the ability to do. I say women with uteruses because I don't have my uterus anymore, guys, but I'm still a lady. Not having a uterus, okay, doesn't make me less of a woman. My uterus got yeeted in 2016 because it was trying to murder me. I'm still a lady. The boobies are still here. My nay-nay's still here. There you go. Okay. So this idea, and I don't know where it comes from. I mean, some forms of Christianity, the patriarchy, whatever, that doing this, I have to get the right person with the right husband because we can't start a whole scandal here on my show. Okay. That doing this, getting married, because this is a couple here. Okay. And making babies with another person is the entire definition of being a human on earth. That is not true. The human experience is so much broader than just who you're fucking and if you make a baby or not. And we have to push past that. That is why I'm in love with these women. Okay. And babe, you know what I'm saying when I say that. Because my wife watches. So these ladies are not for me. You are for me. They are for their husbands. Okay. Except for maybe Demi and Leila, who basically said that they would totally be down to clown in the lesbian town. It's just upsetting to me that the pressure, and I try really hard with my wife and I have talked about it, that like, if our 4 kids don't have any kids, that's totally okay. Right. And that's not a sentence I thought I would have said. I've thought a lot about being a grandma. I want to be called Yaya, which is Greek for grandma. I want to have like matching purple tracksuits with my wife. We will have those regardless or not if we have grandkids, and do like the mall walking, like I have my golden girls years planned out. Part of that does involve a vision of me having grandchildren. I love babies. I love everything about babies. And if 1 or all 4 of my kids managed to produce offspring, that would be amazing to me. But if they all decide, you know what? No fucking thank you. That's okay with me. It really is. I've come to be totally at peace with it. That if we are just, have dog grandchildren, like the typical lesbians that we are, that's okay. It's all right, because what I've told my kids over and over is that I want them to be decent human beings who look at the world around them and try to help out as much as they can to the best of their ability, but to not feel responsible for the whole world. Okay. And to try and be smart with their money, make their money, make money like the rich people. Okay. So that they can retire early and go out in the world and experience it in person. Okay. Like, that is so valuable. I will tell you guys, one of my, if you guys have ever seen Inside Out, one of my core memories for my life that was always a shining beacon for me when I was stuck in the Sea Org, I would think about it a lot and think I should go do that again, was when my grandfather, after my grandmother died, he retired from his job at a cruise line, which at the time was called Royal Cruise Line. And then Caribbean Cruise Line merged with that and became Royal Caribbean years later. But anyway, my grandpa retired from that cruise line. And part of his retirement, is, in addition to money, was a cabin, like a premier cabin on any cruise he wanted once per year for the rest of his life. So as soon as he got this retirement package, he told my mom that he was taking me and my sister, I was 17 and she was 13, on a 13-day cruise in the Mediterranean. Yeah. So at the age of 17, I flew for the first time out of this country from San Francisco to England, from England to Athens. We took a day because we arrived a day early for the cruise. And so we had a day ashore there, right? So we took that day and we went all over that portion of Greece. We went all over Athens. We rented, my grandpa handed a cab driver $100 American and was like, I want to rent you for the day. And the guy was like, yeah, you do. So we went all over. We went to Delphi, saw the Oracle ruins. And then, we told this guy, take us to the place that you would eat here in Delphi. Because he started taking us to like the equivalent of like the Cheesecake Factory. And we were like, no. We want to go to a real place. So we go to this building that has some windows. It didn't have a sign on it anywhere that indicated that it was a restaurant. But we go in and sure enough, it was a restaurant. And there's like this, young Greek guy behind the counter. And we're like explaining that we're Americans and our dad is Greek and all this stuff. And he's like, oh, this is great. And we're like, this is the first time we're going to eat like Greek food. And, we're super excited. So we got the moussaka and this salad, which I will tell you guys to this day, 31 years later, that is still the best salad I've had in my entire life. The food there tastes different. The cucumbers are just like, everything is just like life in your mouth. So my grandfather decided that we should try ouzo. So we tried some ouzo. That's disgusting. As a Greek, I have to just say no thank you to that. And then we told the guy who had been serving us the food, please tell the chef that this is like, my mom would make a moussaka, a green bean moussaka, which was like so good. And that was one of my favorite meals that my mom would prepare. And I said, please tell the chef that this moussaka is better than my mom's. And he's like, the chef is my mom. And I was like, oh my God, that's so wonderful. And he's like, she actually wants to come out to meet you because she's never met any Americans before. We're like, okay. So out waddles this enormously rotund, fully mustached woman who is just like so jovial and just wraps her arms around us and is like saying something very loudly and great to us. They took a photo of us all together, like we're now family, we're cousins, That trip was so life-changing. We went and saw several islands in Greece. We went to Turkey. I went to Istanbul and walked through the bazaar. I went into the Blue Mosque, which I wouldn't be able to do that now with the Muslim and everything else relations, right? I saw that with my own eyes. It's so beautiful. And then we went to Israel and I got to touch the Wailing Wall and go around and see, various beautiful places in Israel. And then we sailed for 3 days across the Mediterranean from Israel to Italy. And I would go up to the top floor of the cruise ship and just lay down on my back and look at the stars that were just so many. You could see galaxies. You could see eternity from that. And the Perseid meteor shower happened while we were in the middle of the Mediterranean. You guys, I've never seen something that beautiful in my entire life. Just looking up at the sky, just like, pshh, 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 pshh. It was like a real, like intergalactic fireworks show. It was so beautiful, right? We got to Italy. We went into the Colosseum. We walked into the Colosseum floor. At that time, tourist groups were being allowed into where the, it all went down, the lions and everything, right? I went to the Sistine Chapel. If you have not seen the Sistine Chapel in real life, whether or not you are Catholic, okay, everyone has to see that. It is one of the singularly most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. But I think I got the best possible experience because when I went in 1993, they were in the middle of the restoration of the Sistine Chapel. So when I walked in, it was still very aged, very patinaed, but yet I could not speak. I was struck so hard by this art. And then our tour guide, Nino, everybody knows Nino, he walked us into the other side. He said, let's go to the restored side. And it was like you were in a just, there aren't words. It is just so beautiful. I cried. I don't even know why I was crying. It's just so beautiful. It is really beautiful. And it's interesting to go in there because as you enter, the first thing you see, everything is dark, dark, dark. And you see all these, like, this wall of glass caskets with dead popes in them. It is so disgusting, right? And you go into this first stained glass chapel area, the old chapel, I believe they call it. That stained glass is like, it's breathtaking, but it is such a juxtaposition of this beauty, this pureness of the stained glass with this very, like, you feel the pain and the like heaviness of this chapel. And then you walk down this really long hallway between there and the Sistine Chapel. And as you get closer and closer to the Sistine Chapel, the art on the walls, it's like layers of things being lifted off you as you enter into the Sistine Chapel, which is just so beautiful. So beautiful. So, and then we went from there to England. And we were in England for 3 days in London. We did not go to the Queen's, the thing. We could see Big Ben, but we did see several plays while we were there. The Sunset Strip one was the big play. And my grandpa says, okay, we can go to Sunset Strip or we can see 3 other plays. So I was like, let's go see the 3 other plays. We saw Phantom of the Opera, 8th row center with the British cast. What? That was phenomenal. Okay. And then we saw this other play, Angel Street. It was awful. It was like just very poorly directed, just not awful. The sets were stupid. Okay. And then the third play we saw was Are You Being Served? Okay. Which is a British version of Don't Dress for Dinner. Right. And John Ritter and a bunch of other people did a great movie of this. I'll have to remember what movie that was. This play was so funny. We were dying. It was hilarious. And then we flew home. And that was probably, at that time, the greatest 13 days up until I came all the way out of the closet and fell madly in love with my wife. The greatest 2 weeks of my life. Absolutely, without a doubt. But because I have that experience, because I saw those ruins in person, because I saw those things with my own eyes, right? It changed how I see and how I perceive a lot of things and people around the world. Because I've met so many people from these different countries, right? We went to Cyprus, we went to the islands in Greece, we went to Turkey, we went to Israel, we went to Italy. I experienced so many different cultures, just in that 13 weeks. It was amazing. It was truly amazing. Right. And so, this pressure that these women are under by the Mormon church, even dear Whitney, who thinks they have a Mormon scale, guys. Did you know that? Where you can rate yourself on being like the best Mormon. And Jen was very bent out of shape because Demi said that she's too Mormon, right? Because she talks about her magic garments all the time and she's obsessed with them. And she's like, but you say that you're a 9 out of 10 to me, but you drank. And Demi's like, so what? Yeah, that's why I'm not a 10. I think that this kind of show and these kind of women pushing these limits. I mean, you have the typical dynamics, guys, where you have the bad guy, you have the perceived good guy, right? And you're going to have battles between those two, right? And it takes a lot to heal from that, to grow from that, but also to push back against it publicly. To push back against that publicly and say, you know what, we're going to go and we're going to take our faith in Jesus and we're going to push that in a different direction because we don't think that everything about this church is constructive. I mean, what they could really do, though, is just join a different church that doesn't have those rules. Which is what I don't understand. Like, that would be my talk with them. Like, okay, I get it. You like this, and this. Did you know that this other Christian religion has those things? But the thing is, guys, is that Mormons believe that when they pass away, they will ascend in purple robes to their very own planet. Like even Scientologists that I grew up in did not believe we were getting our very own planet when we passed away. So maybe they're just really like, I really want that planet. I have plans. So I'm not ditching Mormonism yet. Okay. So, this one hair, guys, came out of my hat and is tickling my mouth. I'm so sorry. Let me get to your burning questions and comments. Here we go. Comment. Let's check it. Tim Mick is in the house. I'm here from the beginning. Yippee! I love everything about your channel, Nora. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for being here. Caroline in Canada, Zach needs to go now. Yeah, I agree. This guy is a trash human. He's writing that Affleck name so hard. He's apparently got a gambling problem and a bunch of other things. So, you know, not the best example of a Mormon either. Oh, right. They did have a whole episode on ways to make it easier as a single person, too. Yeah. Yep. Heather Rhodes is in the house. Who needs to actually watch the show when we could just come here and get the recap better than watching? I would say, well, thank you. I'm glad you are enjoying it. Yeah, I'm with you, Chloe. It felt icky for me for Dakota to take a shirtless family pics on someone else's dime and time. Yeah, fucking tacky as shit. That's white trash. That is trashy. 100%. You don't look like a Mormon. Nora, so glad you're watching this, so I don't have to. These women are overprivileged nuts. You're 10 times more entertaining. Well, thank you. I thank you. Zach Yucky. Yes, I am 49 and writing yucky. Hey, I still say ew. I'm 48, so it's all good. Capricious Caroline, do you think Dakota is a narcissist? I think a little bit. I think that he is a control freak and that there are things, especially in the earlier episodes, that I have seen him say that are borderline abusive. But in the later episodes now, he's really trying to turn over a new leaf. So I don't know. But I also believe, guys, that people can change and grow. That people have that opportunity to do that if you do the hard work. And by hard work, I mean, go to therapy, confront your shit. Not everybody else's, Whitney. Okay? And you got to talk about the hard things, and you got to change your habits, and you got to change your language, and you got to change, into a better version of you. But it's hard work. Caroline and Canada, I said this before. I love Demi and Jesse and Taylor. Let me pull up those ladies. Demi. Boom. I love her too. I love her. Where is, here's Tay Tay. And here's Demi's twin, Jesse. Yeah, these three are a lot of fun. There. I'm also a Michaela stan. If you're not following her on TikTok, she is now not quiet. Please follow her TikTok. It is hilarious. Let me see if I can pull that up. Because Hulu's being a bitch baby. It won't let me show things. It's very frustrating. Tiki-taki. I love that when you start typing in Michaela, it just says Michaela Mormon Moms. I have to show you like her recent TikToks that have been so hilarious. Let me find the one. So this is an example. If you don't know the reference, do yourself a favor and watch a little Gossip Girl because it's delicious and fun, and like a fictional version of this shit. So this is her latest TikTok. I have to mute it though because it has a song in it that will get me demonetized. So it says, when you're single and single-handedly keeping up all the drama of the show, and somebody says, thank you, Jesus, and she says, no, thank you, Blair, which she does look a lot like the actress who plays Blair Waldorf. See, I've been getting enough attention from my friends lately, so I thought I would try setting boundaries and move away too. which is a clapback at Whitney, because after the swinging scandal, she fucking left Utah and went to Hawaii for 3 months just because she literally couldn't take the heat. So she got out of the kitchen. So yeah, Michaela's TikToks are delicious. I love you. If you're watching, you're fantastic. You're amazing. I don't know what this is about. You don't look like a Mormon. Oh God, no one? Shoot. I don't know. The thing is that the premise of the Mormon religion, literally the women can't get to heaven without the husband. And the more kids they have, the better level of heaven they are getting to. What in the actual fuck? So you are judged as a woman and only allowed to get to certain levels of heaven. So like the fucking Duggar mom is going to like super heaven? That don't even make no sense. Some of her kids are straight up trash. You know who I'm talking about. Emily Owens, comment and question. I'm here. I'm back and still much confused. Is the guy with the backwards cap the one you gay vibed that bats for? Yeah, yes. This is Connor, and he is married to, shocker, Whitney. Like, here's a shocker. A gay guy picks a catty bitch to be his wife. Okay? Shocked, not shocked. And all you gays out there watching, you know it's true. If you had to pick a mo, if you had to pick a beard, it would be the catty bitch. Because at least you guys would have that. Capricious Caroline, a real narcissist can't change. It's been proven. That's true. That's why I don't think that he's a narcissist. I think that he needs some improvement, and he's in a fucking cult, and, you know, doesn't, it doesn't breed intelligence amongst the men, emotional intelligence or otherwise. Questions. Marilee, are any of the dancers named Richard Richards? There was a local dancer with that name. No, I don't know that. I don't know. You shouldn't even have to question if you can give your own self an orgasm. Like, what? That is insane. Yeah. But Blake, think about it. Now, your generation, Blakey, because you have admitted that you are 25, so you are Gen Z. Okay. Your generation is growing up in a totally different world, baby cakes. Okay. Where, you know, figuring out what you like is encouraged. That is not so for the earlier generations that paved this path for you. Okay. We were not brought up in the sex positive world that now exists. So you're welcome. Emily. Oh, I got this one already. It's because it's a comment and question. It came up both times. Okay, y'all. That was episode 5. Episode 6 is going to be for realsies. A stripper Chippendales horrific episode. And I will figure out taking some still photos or something. I don't know. I'll figure out some sauce because that is going to be spicy. All right, guys, I'm going to be back with some more Scientology content on Monday. I'm taking tomorrow off, guys. Taking tomorrow off. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in to the last show that I did, how to run from Scientology. I've gotten so much other feedback about things that I brought up in there. So many good questions and things. I do want to touch on that again. Because these hot tips are super important for people who are stuck in the cult. And I appreciate every single one of you who is out there protesting on a daily, weekly, monthly, whatever basis that you go out there, even if you just went one time. Thank you. Sincerely, from the bottom of my very gay heart, thank you for speaking out about the horrific abuses of Scientology. If you guys did not know, Nance Drew, who is out in Chicago, her case has taken a very bad turn. I shared it on my community tab, her link tree, and the video that Wendy and Fat Grammy did about that situation. Please go watch that. If you are so inclined to support Nance, please do, because now apparently she has to get a new fucking lawyer because this guy, you know, probably got fair gamed by Scientology and now is like, oh, I'm going to retire, like, and did nothing for her case. So this is really kind of fucked. And we cannot let Scientology have this win, which they will definitely celebrate by trying to crush a protester who never had anything to do with Scientology because her boob brushed against someone. We cannot criminalize the titties. You guys, decriminalize the tatas. Okay. So please go check my community tab for that information. Please go support Nance and all the other protesters that are out there making it real to the rest of the world why Scientology is absolutely a dangerous, destructive human child trafficking cult that needs to be shut down right now. All right. Until Monday, I will see you guys on the Flippity Dippity. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, as always, to all my mods and all my members. And guys, click that link. Scan it, click it, love it. Send me boxes of money. I need it. I'll see you guys on the Flippity Dippity.